All right, we're just taking the carburetor apart to see if there's a bunch of crap in it. Probably is. This is a way to push the float down. Oh geez, look at that. It's got cheese all over it. We're just gonna use a toothbrush and some lacquer thinner. And I know you're not supposed to do it, but we will run a wire through the holes because we don't have time to let it soak.
Let me get this straight. You push this down, it pushes the float down, and pushes gas out like a primer.
Yeah, that'll be a primer. Probably just take a screwdriver. Look at that junk. Well, that's oil and gas that's sat in there, so it's different than just having gas dry up on you. Oh, it was in the middle slot. But that's how you can, well, now let's say if you need a little bit more fuel, let's say you're going really fast and it's dogging out and you want it to richen it up a little bit more, then you'd, drop that clip on the lower one. That'll let it come up higher. If you're at the very top, it's going to close off more of the hole and then you get less gas. So this little bit of difference here from there to there really drops us down inside the hole and blocks off your fuel flow. And that's how you can fine tune it. That's once you're in the general area, and these carburetors are matched to the engine, so that's probably about all you really need to do. So what's nice about these carburetors as compared to just a butterfly one, that slide is closing off the air, plus the needle is closing off fuel. I can't grab this. Okay. So this thing goes up and down and is blocking off this venturi. And if you make it smaller, it's like you're sticking your thumb on the end of the hose and increasing the airspeed, and down inside is the hole that lets the fuel come from the supply over to here, and as airspeed increases it just picks it up and spreads it out. Oh gosh, see, all these holes have to be cleared out. So this is what you're metering, just like a Briggs and Stratton. The old ones, you'd have this jet that goes up. Now they've made it on a Briggs where you can't even play with the mixture. But usually you just got to clean a hole out with a wire and then make sure the little holes on the sides go through, because the fuel in the bottom of the carburetor usually has to go up and then gets into the venturi. So this is on the bottom of the float bowl, and you're looking at, you got a hex head here and you got a hex head there, and then there's these little holes. Well, this has to come apart, and that's your jet size right here. So that's all clogged up, and if you didn't take this apart and clean it, when the whole, you're turning on the fuel and the whole bowl would fill up with gas, it's supposed to go through these holes. Those were all clogged up. And then that's what controls the flow. You wouldn't be getting any gas. You could have the gas on, you could be checking it, and that would be your resistance, and your bike wouldn't run. It's all full of gummed up oil, but you can see the simplest choke you could ever have. The air cleaner is just like a mesh with some chore boy in there. And you shut the air off to get it started, and then start opening it up, and then all of a sudden she's warmed up. And if you clean it too much, it might be too, or it would go by itself and close off. Maybe we shouldn't clean it too good. Hey, it looks pretty cool now. It's all cleaned up. You got this cover over the carburetor, and this is the air cleaner, and that's black. Somebody will polish this all out, and they're gonna do a nice paint job. It'll look cool. I'm just taking lube and squirting these cables so it'll be like brand new and it'll feel like a new bike when you get on it. And they're all grungy, they gotta be clean so it doesn't look like a pigsty.
We got the battery in for the bike. And I found a reproduction battery, it was like over $100. And on the forums they said, try this one. It's a 6 volt, I think 9.5 amp hour battery. It does fit in the box. A little skinny, maybe a little on the tall side. But it was only 30 bucks. So we're gonna make it work. I'm going to prime and paint it black. Working on the wiring here. And we got a switch. This isn't the original switch. It fits down kind of deep in that tank, so we're going to put some standoffs on here to raise it up. But I think I can get this wired up pretty much like the original setup was. This will be wired similar to what it was, but not exactly. I think I'm going to put the battery, like say here, and then maybe the headlight and taillight on the same terminal. So they'd be on. I think I'll put the ignition here. So you go one more, and then this is making contact here and here. Should be good enough to get it out the door.
Right now we're in the process of wiring up the bike. It had really old wiring. We got an old Harley switch fits in here. It's not exactly the one that the Hummer had, but it needs a filler panel we're gonna have to make. And we need a light bulb. We got to put the battery in. I'm cutting some foam so we can put it in there, and then we got to make a bracket that holds the battery down. I marked it for, width, and then we'll glue it in here so that the battery doesn't vibrate around. And you try to keep the battery from shaking to last longer.
I believe it's a 12 volt bulb in there, but
Really?
it's working. We got a 6 volt coming in the mail.
I'm thinking this is an original Harley horn off of a real early bike, and the one that was supposed to be on here didn't work, and they put this on here. I mean, the horn that was supposed to be on here had these grooves on there like this. It's pretty loud, really.
Just the aftermarket horn was like 20 bucks.
All right, we're gonna check for spark. And we'll crank it over and get the camera on it.
Here's what we got for the fuel line. Pretty sure this is just a 45 flare. See if we can get it to work without leaking. I'm going to use a brake clip tool on this copper. Should work pretty good. See if it seals. These nuts fit over there pretty good. Get the fuel line kind of stuffed in there. It's not really meant to have a filter in it there. Got some sacrificial gear oil in it, and we're going to grease up the main bearings and then see if we can get it to start.
This is not a cool choke. It's hard on the tailbone right now. You need a seat. Get some more video when it's lit up outside.